back. Thom Hartmann here with you, and Yvette Sanchez Fuentes is on the line with us, the National Director of the Office of Head Start, Administration for Children and Families Division of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, appointed by President Obama in 2009. And Director Fuentes, am I saying that right?
Yeah, you can just call me Yvette, though.
Okay.
Hi, Thom.
Hi, thanks for joining us today. Head Start is an extraordinary program. When I was young, you could actually volunteer. When I was a teenager, you could volunteer to help out in Head Start programs, and I did for a few months one summer, I remember. Not sure how old I was. It must have been around 14, 15, something like that. One of my brothers was in that Head Start program.
Yeah, and we still have hundreds of volunteers across the country, folks who come in just from their local communities and volunteer in their Head Start programs. You know, I think every time I travel, I meet somebody who has a story about how they volunteered in a Head Start program, similar to yours. And my mom made me go do something for the summer. Well, so I went to the Head Start program.
I confess it was because I have three younger brothers, and I think it was my youngest, or the second of the youngest, was in that program. My mother was, hassling me about
doing something, right?
So there I was. But you try to take credit for it, but I have to give my mom the credit. What can I say? But in any case, I see Head Start. I've seen the statistics. You invest $1 in Head Start, you get $9 back or something like that over the lifetime of the person in terms of increased tax revenue because they make more money because they have a better future.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that we've seen lots of different data that takes it anywhere from $9 to almost $17, and that really is because we see that kids that were in Head Start graduate from high school. Many of them go on to community colleges and four-year institutions, but most importantly, they give back to their communities. They have stable jobs, stable homes, and they really become citizens who are contributing to their communities every day.
So what is the status of Head Start? I know this is a program that was started, as I recall, this came out of the Kennedy administration? So
this actually came out of the Johnson administration.
The Johnson administration, okay.
Yes.
So it was started by a Democratic administration. And I realize you're not here to be a partisan, but I have heard Republicans trashing Head Start my entire life and Democrats defending it. What's the status of it? Are there Republicans in Congress, or are there people in Congress, let's say, to make it nonpartisan, who are, trying to defund Head Start? Do you have the resources you need? What does the future look like?
Oh, well, I think that the president is strongly committed to Head Start, and I think through his commitment over the last 3 years since the beginning of the administration, we've seen funding for Head Start increase. And, actually Head Start is one of those very unique programs that behind closed doors and when it comes to funding has great bipartisan support. There's a Head Start program in everybody's backyard. And so I think that when folks think about what's going to happen if I don't provide these dollars, it's that kids in their own communities are going to be left out the door. Over the last 3 years, we've been able to increase services to 60,000 more kids and families across the country.
Wow. This is, we tragically, the United States among the 34 OECD nations, the wealthiest nations in the world, we have gone from being number one before the Reagan administration in terms of social mobility. Mm-hmm. In other words, you have the possibility of dying in a different class than the class into which you were born. We've gone from number one to now we're number 3 from the bottom, so we're like number 30 or 31 or something like that in terms of social mobility. Right. And it seems like Head Start is one of those things that really provides for social mobility.
Absolutely. I think that the data, the statistics show that Head Start is not just a program for children. It is really a 2-generational program. It focuses on the children. It also focuses on the parents and the whole family so that we know that kids are not going to do well unless parents are doing well, unless families are doing well, and unless they have reached the goals that they've set. So we're really looking at serving the whole family and making sure everybody's getting the services that they need, whether it's education, medical, dental, or mom and dad want to go to school or want to go get a truck driving license or want to start their own little business. Mm-hmm. Head Start programs are there to support families as they make those transitions.
We're talking with Yvette Sanchez Fuentes, the National Director of the Office of Head Start in the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services. transition.acf.hhs.gov is the website. We will have that on our website. People can link to it. I'm curious, what can people who are watching or listening, what role can they play in helping further or sustain this extraordinary program, the Head Start program?
I think what folks could really do at the local level is find out where your local Head Start program is. The beauty of Head Start programs is that it is serving the most vulnerable children and families in those communities, and it really does the work to bring communities together. So we're not just talking about the families that we're serving, but talking about how do we spread some of the knowledge and the resources that we have so that the community as a whole is lifted up and doing better. And so, I think if folks are interested in finding out what's going on, just go down to your local Head Start program and see what kind of help they need in the classroom or mowing the lawn or building something or, cooking a meal. But anything that folks can do is always helpful and appreciated. And you get to be with great kids all day. So what could be better? It
is great to hear that this program still has a significant volunteer component, because that this is such an important thing, and it knits the community together in many ways.
Absolutely. I think you mentioned the Johnson administration. The beauty of Head Start has always been that it is community-based. It's for the community. It's by the community. And it's parents and community members who make decisions about how their local Head Start program should be run and how it should be designed.
So a local Head Start program in Texas or in a particular city in Texas might look very different than one in a particular city in Arkansas or Illinois or whatever. Not because of any demographic thing, but because the local people said, we want to tweak it a little bit this way or that way.
Absolutely. The beauty of it, though, is that, we do have a level of quality that we expect all Head Start programs to achieve. And so we hold programs accountable for reaching that level of quality, making sure that kids are getting the services that they need, but then they get to decide how they do that. How do I best meet the needs of my kids and my families?
And where does Head Start funding come from?
Head Start funding is direct. It's directly from the federal government through the Department of Health and Human Services. So we fund local organizations directly. Okay.
So our local Head Start programs, are they independent nonprofit programs that are funded by the government, or are they local programs of the government?
They could be nonprofits. They could be faith-based. They could be for-profits. We've got some universities. So if you are a public entity, you are eligible to apply for Head Start dollars.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm impressed at the breadth of it, although I'm always wary of for-profit organizations. I just give you my bias here. I've been on the board of a nonprofit school for years and years and years, and I've seen a lot of for-profit things come and go. But sometimes maybe. So that's extraordinary. That is broad. That's diverse. It's a great program. So get down and check out your local Head Start program. Anything else you want to let us know?
I guess I would just, remind folks that we know, and the research is telling us, and early brain research is telling us, that a strong early education leads to strong success in school and in life. And that's why President Obama and this administration is so committed to Head Start.
Yeah, and that's a fine thing. That's an absolutely fine and very, very important thing. So get down, check out your local Head Start program, participate with it. National Director Yvette Sanchez Fuentes of the Office of Head Start, U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, HHS. Thank you so much, Director Fuentes or Yvette.
Thank you, Tom. I appreciate the time.
Thank you very much for being with us. I appreciate the story and the info and the refresher on something that it's been a long time since I was directly involved with. Thank you.
Anytime, and go down to your local Head Start program.
You got it. Thank you. Bye now.